If you've ever priced out an in-ground irrigation system, you know the price can be astronomical, thousands and thousands of dollars. Today, I'm going to show you how to put together an above-ground irrigation system that I'll use with some of my clients, and is very budget-friendly. You could probably do it for under $100. So now let's go through the parts. First, I have my sprinkler head. This is a Rainbird, picked up on Amazon. I have some Teflon tape. I have a couple of risers. And I have a cheap rotating spike sprinkler. These Rainbird sprinkler heads I picked up for about $10, maybe $14 sometimes. This one I picked up on Amazon. It was $12. I have some Teflon tape, as I said, and the risers. The riser, what I'll do is take the Teflon tape, wrap it around the riser, and then that gets screwed into the bottom of the sprinkler head. The risers were 50 cents. And then I have, as I said, this inexpensive rotating sprinkler that I'm going to repurpose. I bought it new, but I'm going to repurpose. I'll just take the head off this. This particular unit was $3. And then I connect my riser to that. Now, over my time in lawn care, which really dates back to the 1980s, I've used every different type of sprinkler you can imagine. Generally, that breaks down to oscillating sprinklers like this Gilmore, or rotating sprinklers like these. The oscillating sprinkler shoots the water straight up in the air. As it does, it is easily influenced by wind. And if you're in an area with consistent wind, an oscillating sprinkler is not a very good choice. In addition, it's not a great tool if you have trees or anything hanging overhead. Now, a rotating sprinkler is less impacted by wind, and it isn't an issue if you have trees or anything hanging overhead. Something else to consider with these types of sprinklers, as opposed to this, is they have to be moved and readjusted every time you move them. Now, you're going to need some hoses for this. This particular one, it's a 25-footer. I picked it up on Amazon. I got a few 10-foot additions to that as well. This is a old hose. Picked this one up on Facebook Marketplace. I suspect most people have one laying around the house, and I've cut it down to the size that I need. This is a 100-foot hose. I've cut it into 25-foot lengths and added a little connector to the end of it. Now I've got my garden hose connected to the outside of my backyard. I got a seeding project that I'm having to work on because of some grub damage. Now let's take a look at how we'll connect this. So I'll start with one of my Rainbirds. I keep this hose charged with the on-off valve at the end. So we'll connect this. So now with that connected to the water line, what you do is you lift the sprinkler up. And as I turn it, let's see, there's a little white line here. You see that? That is your far left point. So wherever you turn it to, if I leave it pointing here, as it's coming to the left, it will stop there. If I turn it sideways, it's going to point this way. But I'm going to point it to the direction that I want it to stop, which is really on a direction like this. So now I have my left side endpoint set. I'll turn on my sprinkler. And you can see I'm coming off this way a little bit. So I'll grab onto that and the base and give it a little turn again. Making sure that I'm hitting the area that I want to. I'm not missing any of that space. And then I want to be able to cover this entire space here. So to make my right side point, I'll push down on the head and turn it in that direction. Let's pan out so you can see better. And I'll turn that water on full. Make sure we're getting good coverage. Next on here, I'm going to shut off the water valve to this. Now, if you're going to be using more than one of these, as I am, you want to make sure that your spike is double-sided. You have an in and an out. So I'm going to take this off here. I'll connect the other, and we'll connect that. And now I'll have to set the left side edge for this. There's our left side there. Turn that so it's pointing up the driveway. And we'll go turn on the hose. And you can see that's actually shooting onto the driveway there. So I would definitely want to adjust that. Again, I'll hold my base. We'll give that a turn. And then I want to make sure that I'm not soaking the road, which I am doing right now. I'm going to secure this down in place. I'm going to push down on the head and turn it. There we go. Check my coverage. I'm definitely getting the road a little wet, so I'm going to give that more of a turn. There we go. These sprinkler heads are designed to spray from one sprinkler head all the way to the other. That is to say, the furthest sprinkler line coming out of here will be right to the edge of the next sprinkler. This is a 24-foot sprinkler. I have a second one 24 feet away, and then I have one that meets kind of in the middle that will hit both as well. They have this so that you have proper coverage and you don't end up with more water in one area or less water in another. Another option that you might want to consider is adding a timer to that sprinkler system. If you do that, you can set it up, have the water go off at a particular time, walk away, and it will manage itself. It's important to note when watering your grass, early morning is your best bet. I have mine normally on at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I have it set for 3 days a week. And I do that because I want to be able to achieve about 1.25 inches, sometimes as much as 1.5 inches when it's really hot. What I do after I have an above sprinkler system like this set up is I measure the amount of water I'm getting over a set period of time. I'll use tools like these, available on Amazon and linked in the description. I'll stick them into the ground. I'll run my sprinkler for a predetermined amount of time, maybe 10 minutes, and gauge how much water I'm getting over that 10-minute period. From there, I can determine how long I actually need to be running my sprinkler to achieve the amount of water that I'd like to get per session. For me personally, I'm looking to get between 1/3 and 1/2 inch of water per session. That breaks down to my sprinkler running for about 20 minutes. I hope that you found this information helpful and it'll help you with your above ground sprinkler system project. Any questions you may have, put them in the comments section below. I'd be happy to answer them.